Just a Dream by Chris Van Allsburg. As usual, Walter stopped by the local bakery to buy his favorite pastry, a large jelly-filled donut. As he eagerly walked along, eating the last bite and licking the jelly from his fingers, Walter crumpled up the wax wrapper and he tossed it at the fire hydrant. When he got home, he saw his neighbor Rose watering a tree in her front yard with a garden hose. "It's my birthday present, Walter," she said proudly. Walter's birthday was in just a few days. He didn't want some dumb plant for his birthday. And he continued on inside. Later that night after dinner, Walter's parents asked him to take out the garbage. As he walked toward the garage, there stood 3 cans labeled compost, recycling, and trash. And as usual, Walter threw the bag into one can. He was too busy to get inside to watch his favorite television show about a boy who lived in the future and owned his own tiny airplane and had robots that could do anything at the push of a button. And that night, Walter, too, went to bed wishing he had his very own tiny airplane that he could park on the rooftops. And maybe even a robot that could make 1,000 jelly-filled donuts at the push of a button. And that night, Walter's wish came true. As he fell asleep, his bed traveled to future. He woke up to the sound of a bulldozer revving its engine and pushing this mountain of trash in the landfill towards him. "Stop!" Walter shouts. "Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there." What is this place? Walter's thinking. He's seeing rolling hills of garbage, houses buried to the rooftops. Does anybody live here? Walter asked the man. "Not anymore." Walter sees a street sign floating down. It's his street. The man says, "Gotta get back to work." He revs up the engine and continues on. Walter's thinking, "Oh, this can't be the future. This must just be a dream." And he pulls the covers up and he falls back asleep. But not for long. He wakes up feeling the breeze blowing. He can hear the sound of the leaves. Walter opens his eyes, but his bed has landed in the branches of a very tall tree. But it's the only tree left. For miles and miles, all Walter can see are stumps in the horizon. He hears men talking and looks down below. "Hello?" he called to them. "Hello up there." Walter said, "You're not going to cut down this tree, are you?" They're carrying a very large saw. The men didn't reply. Maybe they needed for something really important. So he's noticing the lettering on their shirts that read "Quality Toothpick Company." He's thinking, "Oh no, this must be a dream." And he pulls the covers up over his head and closes his eyes until he wakes up. Coughing. There's smokestacks. He's surrounded by dozens of smokestacks. There are smokestacks everywhere. Walter notices a man climbing a ladder to him. "What is this place?" Walter asks the man. "Why, it's a quality medicine factory, son." "What kind of awful medicine do they make here?" "Great medicine for burning throats and itchy eyes. Would you like some?" "No, thanks," Walter says. His bed's on the smokestack. He just wants to fall asleep and be able to breathe when he closes his eyes. Then he wakes up shivering. He can feel a cold wind and snowflakes falling on him. And he hears this crunching sound of the snow beside his bed, and he opens his eyes and he sees some hikers snowshoeing up the mountain. "Where are you going?" he called, but the hikers didn't respond. So Walter turns and he looks over his bed and he sees a yellow, flashing, blinking sign that reads Hotel Everest. "There can't be a hotel on top of Mount Everest." Walter can't believe what he's seeing. It's freezing cold. He's just in his pajamas and just trying to get warm, and eventually he falls asleep and wakes up warm. The sunshine on his bed is rocking. His bed has landed in the open sea, and it's traveling towards 2 men in a boat. They're laughing, cheering, and calling out. "Hello," Walter calls to them. "The second second catch of the week, the men replied. Well, aren't you going to throw it back? It's quite small, don't you think? The men replied. They were so happy they had caught a fish. Walter's thinking, no, I hope I'll wake up soon back in my bed. But he didn't. This time, Walter's bed was flying through the night sky, and he heard a flock of ducks quacking next to him. He opened his eyes, and the duck said, "You mind if I take a rest on the edge of your bed?" "Sure," Walter said, surprised. The duck's actually speaking to him, telling him that he can't find water down below, and they've been traveling for days. Walter said, "I'm sure you'll find water soon." Deep in his heart, he's not so sure. Finally, Walter falls back asleep, and he returns to the present day in his room. He woke up, but he's feeling terrible. He's feeling awful. He looks out the window, and he hears the birds, and he sees that the sun is just starting to rise. He runs downstairs. He runs outside out to the fire hydrant, picks up that wax wrapper. He brings it home runs towards the garage, and he sorts out all that garbage that he didn't last night. And he's feeling a bit better. A couple days later, it's his birthday, and his friends come over for cake and ice cream, and they celebrate, and he gets the usual Lego gifts, an electric yo-yo, and tells his friend to come outside to see his favorite gift of all, a tree. That night, he and his dad plant it. When he goes to bed, he's looking out the window. He likes how his and Rose's tree look side by side, and he falls asleep. Not for long. When Walter wakes up, his bed is standing in the shade of two very tall trees. The sky is blue, the birds are singing, there's laundry hanging from a clothesline flapping in the breeze. A man's pushing a motorless lawnmower. This isn't the future. This must be the past, Walter thought to himself. "Good morning," says the man. "Found a nice place to sleep." "Yes, I have." There's something really peaceful about where his bed had landed in the shade of the trees. "My great-grandmother planted one of these trees when she was a girl." Walter looked up, and he realized where his bed had taken him. This was the future, and after all, a different kind of future. No robots, no tiny drones, there weren't even any clothes dryers or gas-powered lawnmowers. Walter lay back in his bed and he smiled. "I like it here," he said. He told the man, and he drifted off to sleep in the shade of the two trees he and Rose had planted so many